When I was a kid, the disaster we worried about most was a nuclear war. That's why we had a barrel like this down in our basement, filled with cans of food and water. When the nuclear attack came, we were supposed to go downstairs, hunker down, and eat out of that barrel. Today, the greatest risk of global catastrophe doesn't look like this. Instead, it looks like this.
And that's because you can't keep using the same lie over and over again. People are no longer scared of news. The government needs something new to scare the masses, because that's the only way to control the population, by keeping them scared and dividing them. But it's always a hoax. If they were never lying, there would be no more oil now, the ozone layer would be gone and we would all have died many years ago. This new and invisible virus is the perfect new enemy. No matter if it's real or not, it's a perfect tool for governments. This virus has granted governments unlimited powers. Now they can make new laws without any approval or opposition. Now they have the power to disappear anyone they want. All they have to do now is say that you are infected with the virus.
Official government advice now stating that if you or any member of your household has any of these symptoms, it is now time to self-isolate for the foreseeable future. Jonathan Pye, Central London. It's all bollocks, right? It's all bollocks. What Boris Johnson is doing, it's what? It was just a cough, Tim, all right? What Boris Johnson needs it was just a cough.
It's obvious now that we are moving to one world government, as all the governments all over the world are doing the same. Shutting down the economy, locking down people, they all follow the same agenda and they all work together. Don't think that China or Russia or the USA are enemies, they are all part of the same team and are using the same tactics. This coronavirus comes at the perfect time, since many governments were having some big issues in the last year. 2019 was a year of mass protests all over the world. In Hong Kong, millions of people have been protesting week after week. This all started with the extradition bill, but that was not the main reason for the protests. People are fed up with all the corruption and suffering in this world. Not only in Hong Kong, but everywhere. In France, the Yellow Vests have been protesting for over a year. Every Saturday, major cities got flooded by protesters. Police has been firing tear gas and flashbangs at peaceful protesters week after week. Thousands of people got injured and some got killed by the police. The mainstream media have been mostly quiet about the protests. Most people have no clue about the other mass protests that went on in Egypt, Iraq, Spain, Chile, Italy, India and some more countries. This was a major issue for many governments because most of these protests kept going week after week and became very big in some countries. All governments use the same tactics of firing tear gas and rubber bullets. Many people lost eyes or limbs, many people got killed. So that's why I think this virus comes at the perfect time. Now they can arrest anyone that gathers in a group. All the protests everywhere have disappeared. Or maybe I'm wrong and this coronavirus is so dangerous I should be shitting my pants right now. And I didn't buy any toilet paper. Don't be scared, people.
Here's your proof the coronavirus is fake. Published in 1989. They spell it out for you in the medical fucking journal. It is simply the common cold.
Well, another thing authorities are battling with globally during the coronavirus pandemic is fake news. Many people don't know how to tell if a message or news story is actual, factual or not. They then simply forward it to other people, and if it's fake news, that causes problems for government and health officials. To find out how and tell the difference, let's speak to social media law specialist Emma Sadler. Emma, thanks for your time. We appreciate it. We're seeing more and more contents of fake news online. How do people actually see what's real and what's not?
Yeah, well, I think that it's such an important message for everyone out there to really take responsibility. You know, in the past, I've always said if you share fake news, you just look dumb. But actually, in the current crisis, you don't just look dumb, you can be causing real harm. I've seen all sorts of stories on social media in the last couple of days. I've seen stories about how only white people can get the illness. I've seen how testing kits aren't available or they're faulty. I've seen people identified as having the disease when they don't. So we really do just have to remind everyone that because there is so much noise out there, everybody has become a publisher. People really have to interrogate content before they share it. And I think the best advice probably is to get your news from news sites rather than your community WhatsApp groups where everybody is sharing just about every single thing they see. Maybe go to your news sites, go to your news channels on TV instead of just regurgitating what you see on social media.
Yeah, why are you watching my video? YouTube is not real news. You need to watch the mainstream media. They would never lie to you.
So I found this. Now let's see if the mainstream media report this. This is the New England Journal of Medicine. So it's about as, you know, authoritative as you get. COVID-19. This is dated. Where are we? March 26th, which is 2 days ago. Okay, so what are they saying here that the mainstream media are never going to tell you? They're saying the following. Yeah, okay, so the case fatality rate may be considerably less than 1%. This suggests that the overall clinical consequence of COVID-19 may ultimately be more akin to those of a severe seasonal influenza, which has a case fatality rate of approximately 0.1%. Influenza, similar to those in 1957 and 1968, rather than a disease similar to SARS or MERS, which have had a case fatality rates of 9 to 10% and 36% respectively. Okay, so basically what the New England Journal of Medicine is saying is it is identical in every respect to the normal coronavirus flu virus. The flu virus causes a fatality rate each year of 0.1%, and they're saying, oh, guess what? We think it's going to cause a fatality rate of 0.1%. Okay, so we've got Dr. Wolfgang Wodarg, who's saying that coronavirus makes up 15% of the annual flu virus, and it's a slightly different coronavirus each year that we get, because otherwise, you know, everyone would be immune to it each year. So every year it mutates slightly. This year is no different than the other years. So it makes up 15% of the annual flu virus, and the mortality rate for the flu virus is 0.1%. And 2 days ago, we've got the the most reputable source possible telling us that they now think it's 0.1%. It's identical. It is a complete hoax. I mean, on that basis, we've got information here, for example, from the Metro today. Hospitals in London are not yet at capacity amid the coronavirus pandemic, despite the capital being the hardest hit place in the UK. Yet we've got other health professionals telling us, look guys, you must realise that at this time every year, during the flu season, all the hospitals are at full capacity. Okay, so it's not yet happened yet. I mean, hospitals in London are not yet at full capacity. We're on lockdown. The whole world's quarter of the world, a third of the world's on lockdown. Crazy times, absolutely crazy times. Based so far on a total hoax. We've got, there's people posted on Redwood's blog saying, look, what's going on? We were told that there would be 10 times more deaths in 2 days, a week ago, than there are at the moment. It's paralleling the normal flu, morbidity rates for this time of year. For example, Nelly tells them some excellent research here. I've been seeing quite a few freakouts this morning, i.e. the number of Italian doctors who have died. So I thought I'd do some research to look into this. As shocking as it sounds, keep in mind too that this table does not include the deaths that normally happen every day. Okay, so basically, you know, Italian doctors do die. They're not immortal, and Italy is a big country. So if you break down the statistics, don't allow propaganda to spread panic. Scary, horrific tragedies happen every day. Usually we just don't count and report them. Okay, total expected deaths of doctors within flu norms, 369. There is nothing going on out the norm. The only thing that's going on out the norm is the media, the crazy media, have suddenly decided to, you know, start reporting the annual flu epidemic that we have every year as if it's a new thing, and it's not. You know, it's quite bizarre. I did think about a year ago, actually, I was looking at the flu deaths, the annual flu deaths, and I was thinking, blimey, they're really high. If somebody in the MSM, you know, starts noticing this and starts thinking, hang on a minute, most people don't realise how many people die each year of the flu. And this whole con only works based on, you know, the fact that most people don't realise the huge figures of people that die in this big, very big country each year from seasonal flu. If you know the figures, it doesn't, you know, the hoax doesn't work. And suddenly the media couldn't resist it, could they? We've had the war on terror, and now we've got the war on viruses. Anything to perpetuate their police state agenda, their absolute tyrannical, power crazy agenda. And what they've done is they've decided to politicise the annual flu deaths. We can't have this every year. We can't go into lockdown every year. It's crazy. I mean, this is just absolute madness what's going on. So basically,
do you agree with Donald Trump's chief of staff, Mulvaney, that the coronavirus is the hoax of the day?
The State Department is doing everything it can to protect American citizens around the world.
Do you believe coronavirus is the hoax?
I'm not going to comment on what others say.
I'm just asking you, do you believe the coronavirus is a hoax?
I'm just telling you what the Secretary of State's doing.
Do you believe the coronavirus is a hoax?
We're working to keep people safe.
You can't even answer that question.
Yeah,
it's it's not even a gotcha question. You believe the coronavirus is a hoax?
It's a gotcha moment. It's not useful.
Is the coronavirus a hoax? Can you just answer that question?
We're taking it seriously. This is
are you
serious.
At 12:15 today? Are you in fact yourself speaking at CPAC? At 12:15 today, are you speaking?
Yes, I am. I'm planning.
All right. So you can only give 2 hours to this bipartisan group of members of Congress, and instead of answering questions on life and death issues from a bipartisan group of America's representatives, you're going to go talk to a special interest group.
Yes.
You, sir, represent all Americans, not a special interest group. It is shameful. You can't even answer basic questions. I yield back.
Yo, what's up, folks? We'll be back again on this coronavirus pandemic hoax shit they got going on the population. I really can't believe y'all fall for this shit, honestly, man. This shit's just writings on the walls, like, you know what I mean? How do you fall for this shit? It's just so obvious it's a fucking hoax. They're ushering in a new world order using a fucking common code to do it. And the thing about it, if you go get checked for like a flu or anything, they're gonna say it's coronavirus. Like right now, anybody that died from anything, they're gonna say it's coronavirus. No matter what. You fall off a fucking cliff, it goes down as coronavirus. You know what I mean? You get shot in your head, obituaries, coronavirus. Everything's coronavirus, I'm fucking telling you right now. It's programming. And it's fucking fake. And only the sheep can't see it. It's nothing but Satanism. The dividing, and it's this division. It's all they're doing is dividing everybody. Right around census time too. Just you gotta really think, like, what's their agenda? What are they trying to accomplish?
People who don't get vaccinated are potential trouble. The reason you get vaccinated is to protect me from you. It is not about you, it's about me. Or if you're me, then you, me.
We've got two pictures. The one on the left, I think it's the one on the left anyway. Yeah, the one on the left is supposedly pictures of the dead that have died from the coronavirus in Italy. However, let's do some research, shall we? The one on the right, which is identical to the one on the left, even to the point of the flowers, the roses on the coffins. Right? It's the same photo. that was taken. The one on the right is actually bodies of migrants who died from drowning from a boat that thingy. That was in 2013. It's the same photo they're using again, but they're trying to say it's the coronavirus. Wake up! We've been had. We're being had.
So why is the mainstream media lying? If this is legit, it should be easy to come up with new videos and pictures every day. There should be thousands. There would be no need to use the same videos and pictures on every news channel all over the world. But sorry people, this world is a Hollywood stage. It doesn't matter if these stories or pictures are real or not. All that matters for the elite is that you believe it to be true, so that you are scared and don't think rationally, so that you are scared and obey. Videos of empty hospitals are coming in from all over the world. That's right. The mainstream media will tell you that it's a battlefield in the hospitals right now. Let's see what independent media is reporting.
Here we go. So here we go. We're entering into Penn Medicine, Princeton Medical Center at Plainsboro. This is Coronavirus Central. This is very nerve-wracking, and we are putting ourselves at huge risk, huge personal risk, to report, bigly risk, to report on the coronavirus hoax. So here we go.
So let's see how busy it is.
Here we go. It looks pretty busy. Here's your screen. Hey, how are you?
Good. How can I help you?
I had
stay right there.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
I came because I wanted to speak with maybe somebody who might be knowledgeable. I found online. I don't know if you guys are. Maybe you can help me, but the UK government had a status. They were updating the status of the COVID-19, and they originally called it an HCID, which is they classified a highly contagious infectious disease. Yeah, you've heard that? March 19th.
Are you recording right now?
Yeah.
Can I ask you not to record inside the hospital premises?
Okay, sure. Yeah. Sorry. All right, so I'm leaving now. That literally lasted 30 seconds. The security is escorting us out. Okay, we're leaving. Bye-bye. So you guys no one wants to talk, right? Yep. There you go.
This is Todd Starnes, and this is here in my downtown Brooklyn neighborhood. You know, they've been telling us on the news, and the Democrat leaders have been telling us that the hospitals here in New York City have been turned into war zones. And I thought it would be good to get out today and to show you what's happening, at least in my neighborhood. Now, again, this is not to diminish the virus or the crisis at all. This is just simply to explain to you what we are actually seeing in reality compared to what we are seeing on the television and what the Democrats in charge are telling us. So look, this is outside of our hospital here in Brooklyn. This hospital serves thousands and thousands of people. Now, this is the line to get tested for the coronavirus right here. This is where the line starts. And folks, I'm here to tell you at this very moment, not a single person is in line waiting to get tested. This is the emergency room. And you would expect, if you believe the mainstream media, that this emergency room would be overflowing with people. And as you can tell, there are no people here. Now again, this is not to say that this situation could change, but I'm telling you right now, this is what's really going on in New York City here in Brooklyn. So this is the hospital, so let's go around and let's see if there's anything happening at the front of the hospital. But folks, this is what really aggravates me. Yes, this virus is a serious issue, but the reality is I'm afraid that the mainstream media has been overblowing the coverage here. There's been a lot of fear-mongering going on, and that is unacceptable. So this is the front of the hospital, and as you can see, there are not thousands of people trying to get into the hospital, as the mainstream media has been telling us. And it seems to be fairly quiet out here for the time being. So folks, I just want you guys to get an idea. We're going to be going to another hospital in the neighborhood just momentarily, but I want to give you an idea of what's happening here at the Brooklyn Hospital Center here in New York City.
Are you here to see a doctor, check in? Okay. We're just going to ask you a few questions real quick.
You want to see a doctor?
Yeah. Are you recording right now by chance? Yeah. You can't be recording on camera. Okay. So I need to confirm that you turned that off.
Symptoms of coronavirus or anything like that. So it makes me, it drove me to wonder, are the hospitals packed? Are they full of people? But they're not. Are you seeing a lot of people with, well, do you have coronavirus?
I'm not going to answer any questions. Are you here to actually check in and see a doctor for medical attention? No? Okay, then you have to leave campus.
Okay, I will. But I'm guessing you guys haven't seen anyone with coronavirus.
You got to leave campus now. We're not going to answer any questions. If you want any questions, you can refer to our public relations.
Okay.
Their information is on our website.
Yeah, it seems like no one's seen anyone with coronavirus either. But thank you guys.
You have a good day.
I don't see, I've been here for an hour. Not one person has walked up to the tents. Not one. Okay? So, and look at all the ambulances down the block. You see any ambulances? Look at, more people are taking videos. Because no one's believing the fake fucking media. You see all the ambulances that are on the block down there? They're all parked. They've been there for an hour. You mean to tell me no one's calling people? Give me a fucking break.
Hey everybody, this is Scott Pressler. I live in Fairfax County, just outside of Washington, D.C., which is one of the most populated counties in the entire Commonwealth of Virginia. I'm here at the Fairfax Inova Hospital, and as you can see by the parking lot, not a lot of cars, not a lot of activity, not a lot of people walking around. I just simply wanted to do some investigative journalism myself and see it with my own eyes of here in one of the most populated hubs in America, what we were experiencing. And I just don't see a lot of people who are seeking treatment here in Fairfax County.
So I came to the hospital to see if it's, chaos and people just running in, screaming and coughing. Hey, how's it going? I'm just seeing if it's like packed to the walls with people with coronavirus. No. Yeah. No. We've gotten a lot of cases of coronavirus coming in.
People who think that they have.
But no, like, they're coughing up blood, screaming.
Yeah, plus we can't cover.
Okay, I understand. Okay, sorry.
This is James Street Hospital. It's like a ghost town in the hospital. This corridor is usually rampant with people. Look at this, all the way back down to the casualty. And I've just been speaking to a nurse there, and she says, for staff, the car park has now been made free, so we won't find the clampers here today. It has now been made national in hospitals that the car parking for staff is free. So that's good news. So let's see if we catch the clampers doing it on the patients everywhere. Respiratory lab, look at this. Oh my God. This is crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Die Charité in Mitte hat uns ins Virchow-Klinikum geschickt und gesagt, hier würden alle Berliner Corona-Fälle zusammenkommen. Und das zwischen 8 und 16 Uhr. Das heißt, die meiste Zeit über ist gar nichts los. Schauen wir mal hier an. Also, die sind zwar da hinten in den Zelten, in den Zweien, die jetzt leer sind, aber was mich wundert, das ist doch nicht der Ausnahmezustand, der in den Medien beschrieben wird. Die Medien haben bereits am Wochenende über 1000 Corona-Infizierte für die Stadt Berlin gemeldet. Wir sind kurz nach 20 Uhr hierher gekommen und nichts los, niemand da. Virchow Klinikum Berlin. Das Einzige, was hier noch zu sehen ist, ist das, bei den Stühlen soll man nicht zusammensitzen. Aber ansonsten ist hier nicht wirklich was festzustellen. Also ich habe einige Mitarbeiter hier im Vertrauen sprechen können. Die haben gesagt, also das, was in den Medien berichtet wird, das können sie nicht nachvollziehen. Dass sich das nicht deckt mit dem, was hier tagtäglich passiert. Ich meine, ich kenne Krankenhäuser in Notsituationen, zum Beispiel in Libyen und Syrien, übervoll mit Verletzten des Krieges, ja, oder in Venezuela, übervoll mit Leuten, die irgendwelche Mangelerscheinungen haben. Aber hier ist ja gar nichts los.
Are you in China right now?
Yeah, I'm in China right now.
Where
I'm in
where are you?
quarantine.
Say again?
I'm in quarantine right now.
Holy shit. And where are you in relation to Wuhan?
Quite a way away from Wuhan.
And how long have you been in quarantine?
This is my 5th day.
How come everybody isn't speaking out that's being 53 million, 48 million that are under quarantine in China? They can't get the internet to say what's going on. I mean, how come people aren't starving, and why are they still, life goes on, but you're staying in your rooms?
Well, when I need supplies, I have to call for them. I have to call my boss, who's already done his quarantine, and he goes to the store. Now, this is the crazy thing. The shops are open. The supermarkets are open. It's just nonsensical.
What do you mean? You were saying, I don't want to get into the letter here, but you were saying that it's just everybody's got to wear masks, and if you don't wear a mask, you're considered what?
You literally dare not walk down the street with a mask. There's fear of, what might happen. Everybody outside is wearing a mask and or goggles, gloves. It's crazy.
Where did they get everything? Where did they get all was that just trucked in, and they just happened to have all these masks and goggles, and everybody was able to buy them on Amazon?
Yeah, who knows? You can't buy anything on Amazon from China. You've got to get it from the supermarket. But when I was in Cambodia, there was a guy in the market who was selling these useless paper masks. They're $15 a pop, and the stupid Chinese people couldn't get their money out fast enough. And this was in Cambodia, where there is no virus, because it's not flu season.
So what are they? So Nigel, you just got back there, and is that right? And you're just now learning that you're in quarantine, and you knew you were going to come into it, or?
I knew. I was told I was going to be quarantined. Yeah. But I could have stayed in Cambodia for another week or another 2 weeks. But, I've got to go back to work sometime. And however long I delay coming back home wouldn't have mattered, because I've still got to do 14 days quarantine anyway.
So where you were out on business, or you live in China, you were out trying to come back, and you knew if you came back, you'd have to be under quarantine for 14 days, is it?
Yeah. Yeah, well, it was Chinese New Year, so we get like 4 weeks off. So I went traveling. I went to Bali. I went to Cambodia, and of course, I've got to come back here. And even if I'd extended my holiday for another week, you're only postponing the inevitable. You still got to do the 14 days.
So are you being going through the airports? I mean, are you being lasered with those heat lasers, and are you being checkpointed a lot more? Just coming in, going into China, being a foreign national guy working there. I mean, were you treated differently?
No, I'm treated exactly the same. Exactly the same.
And so you've got to stay. What does quarantine mean?
Quarantine means you basically it's like how can I put it? It's like being in prison in your own home.
How do they enforce it?
the way that the living, the way the accommodation is designed in China, everything's in what they call a community. So, and they're all gated. So you go through the gates into an area where there are multiple high-rise buildings, and that area, if you imagine a fence all the way around 20 high-rise buildings, that is called a community. And they've got somebody at the gate. You can't get in or out. They just won't let you in or out. Simple as that.
And this is middle upper class and people that are out at foreign nationals. They're living in these gated communities because it's safe for them too, right? Just like Palos Verdes, California, just like all these other gated communities. These people think they're safe, but they don't understand they could be locked in too, right?
Yeah, this is what we're finding out. Yeah, I mean, you are locked in. I mean, I called my boss last night because I needed something, and this was around 8 o'clock, and he said, "Yeah, no problem." He called me half an hour later, and he said, "Nige, they won't let me out." Now he's done his quarantine. He's done his 14 days, but they still wouldn't let him out.
How are you guys getting fed? How is business being conducted? I mean, if you're all there, as all the factories are, the market's now just starting to get cratered because they're saying the manufacturing has ended. But are you seeing anybody sick? Is there anybody dying in the streets in the vegetable patches? The market, like we're seeing?
This is the crazy thing. I have a friend, a Chinese friend, who's got an old school friend who lives in Wuhan. And I asked my friend to ask her friend, "Do you know anyone who knows anyone who has died or got sick?" And she said no. Now that is in Wuhan.
Say that. Wait, Nigel, that's huge. So let me take that in for what you just said. Can you say that story just from who you know that for, that source, and just repeat what you just said, please?
Okay, a good friend of mine that I've known for longer. Oh, probably 7 years, has an old classmate, a school friend, who lives in Wuhan. And I saw my friend, and I asked my friend, "Can you ask your friend in Wuhan if she knows anyone who's died?" And she sent her a message, and the message came back, "No, I don't."
And so the story is that thousands have died.
Yeah.
All right, that's the same thing we saw in Paradise out here in California. They said 52,000 people evacuated. Town was 27,000 people, yet the tow truck driver I interviewed personally said he drives in the first thing after he's allowed to go in there and sees 200 dead bodies easy. Official counts 86. So this is just a TV show is what's basically going on here. Essentially.
I mean, can you see my screen share at the moment?
Yes, I see your price list up. It's was this the plane you were on?
No. This is a video that I mirrored from an American guy he also works in education, but he's in Japan. His channel is called Need Input. Blaze is his name. And he put this up a few days ago, and the first thing I did was contacted him and said, "Mate, I've got to mirror this." He said, "Help yourself." So what you're looking at here is a plane coming in from Indonesia. Okay, I've turned the sound off, but let's just run with it. Watch what happens with this random spraying, because it's really, really funny. You've got people disembarking, just being randomly sprayed. They're not. Look at this. Look, it's not even going on him. It's blowing back. Look at it.
Yeah, we're seeing, and there's so much of it. This, being out of there. Did you know about the war games? The biggest military Olympic games were held in Wuhan last year.
Yeah, it's in the PPT. We'll come to that. But the other thing is, when I arrived back at my apartment on Friday, my boss was waiting for me along with a neighbour who got this little spray bottle in his hand, and he started spraying me like I was like a tomato plant. I wanted to hit him. Oh, go away! What are you doing?
They're spraying. You're right, Nigel. They're spraying them like a freaking tomato plants. This is like, and people are twirling around and putting their arms up and the food they're carrying, and
yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is footage from where again?
This is from this is an Indonesian plane landing somewhere in China. A plane from Indonesia.
So this is a plane that came out of country and landed in China recently, and so this what we're seeing here is possibly basically delousing. I mean, you're basically just delousing.
Yeah, but look at it. It's a joke.
Right, so when were you told a fatality happened? Because the man that was, the homeless man that we are told that just died, we've just seen the police take him away to the hospital. I'm filming this now. The police were just, you're in your communal area, my building, and you're lying to us, spreading fear, telling us that this man died, and he's just been down there and saw that he is not dead. He has just been taken to the hospital by the police. He spoke to both the police and the homeless man. That man was a bit drunk. He asked him if he was okay, and he was fine. This was 5 to 10 minutes ago, and now you're coming up here spreading lies and fear and telling me this man is dead, and he is not dead. This man is not dead. Take them letters, take them somewhere else, because that man is not dead. I've been feeding that man.
Wait.
He's lying.
What you can do is stop putting it. No, wait. What you can do is stop putting it on because he's not dead.
Until you find out if this man's really dead and prove that, then you need to stop putting these letters on there.
Can I ask you to stop filming?
Can I ask your name?
I'm from one housing.
You're from one housing. Can I ask your name? When they put a letter under your door saying the man's dead, he's not dead, he's fine. The man is absolutely fine. The man's fine. He's putting letters under our door saying the man's dead. The man's not dead. He just saw him 5 minutes ago being taken by the police. Now these are coming here in their little suits telling us this man's dead, and this man is not dead. We have just seen the police take him to the hospital 5 minutes ago. You are liars. You are spreading fear for no reason. No one died in this building today. Nobody died.
Can you let us respond?
Yeah, I have let you respond, and you've stood there and lied. You have.
I said, can you stop filming?
Okay, no. You're in my building outside my door causing fear amongst my community. Okay, go on. So show me who died. It's a lot. It's legal. I'm illegally allowed to. Go for it. Go on. I did.
No, you didn't. Can you stop filming as well?
No, go on.
Right, in that case, no.
I can film. Go on. I'd like the answer.
So we'll just
we're responding based on what a report we had. Yeah,
What time did you get this report? Can I just ask?
About a couple of hours ago.
A couple of hours ago, but we've literally saw this man taken away 10 minutes ago, healthy.
Well, that's fine. Now that you've told us that, we will go on.
Can I ask who gave you the report that this man was dead?
It's fed from one housing.
From one housing. One housing told you that this man was dead, so you came round in your suits to spread fear amongst. Look at them children in there, and you're spreading fear amongst all.
Do you agree with Donald Trump's chief of staff, Mulvaney, that the coronavirus is the hoax of the day?
The State Department is doing everything it can to protect American citizens around the world.
Do you believe coronavirus is the hoax?
I'm not going to comment on what others say.
I'm just asking you, do you believe the coronavirus is a hoax?
I'm just telling you what the Secretary of State is doing.
Do you believe the coronavirus is a hoax?
We're working to keep people safe.
You can't even answer that question.
Yeah,
it's not even a gotcha question. You believe the coronavirus is a hoax?
It's a gotcha moment. It's not useful.
Is the coronavirus a hoax?